welcome to Char Can't Cook. I'm Char and I can't cook eggplant parmesan. Marianne Weston is the expert on that. What are we going to do here today?
Okay, so this is actually a recipe I got off a website, and it's by a man who possibly couldn't cook and had to learn how to make this dish real easy. So we're going to take eggplant, we're going to cut them into cubes, we're going to let them sit in some salt first so that they can get their little bitter juices out, and then we're going to rinse them off, and we're going to throw them in a pan with some olive oil and just stick them in the oven, and we're going to cook themselves.
What does eggplant taste like? Is it spicy or strong or?
No, it's very, very mild. It's sort of it sucks up the taste of other things around it.
Oh, so it's like a nice little sponge?
Yeah, spongy, nice and spongy, and it has an affinity to things like garlic and tomato, Mediterranean things, East Indian things.
Oh, okay.
It's super delicious, and it's very good for you as well.
It's like chock full of vitamins?
I think it's chock full of vitamins. I don't know which kind they are, but it's also got soluble fiber in it.
Oh, fiber.
Which is very good.
Everyone
for us.
needs fiber.
So that's what we're going to do first. So what I usually do with the eggplant, because I got this husband who is afraid of eggplant skin, I cut the end off it, get rid of the little hat, and then I'm going to just take stripes or strips of the skin off. So if you want to go around there and do the rest of it.
All right.
Don't have to be fussy about it.
Doesn't have to be perfectly beautiful.
No. It's just to kind of expose more of the flesh to the olive oil and the salt, so that we can get those. The bitter juices come from the seeds, and apparently there's a way of knowing if your eggplant is seedy or not. But so the eggplant, the heavier it is, the more seeds it's got in it, and the seeds are a bit of a negative. That's what you're trying.
Oh, because I've seen the wee little eggplants. Maybe that's why people buy those. They'd have fewer bitter seeds.
Yeah, I've not tried the really little ones. I've tried the long ones, and for some things they're just not robust enough. Okay, so we're gonna first you're gonna slice it into discs about yay fat. There you go. And then you're gonna take these discs and you're gonna cut them into cube-like shapes. Again, you don't have to be super fussy, but about like you can get one of those in your mouth. It's gonna
bite size.
It's gonna shrink a little. Making them too small is not a good idea, because you want a layer of eggplant that kind of stands up in the dish at the bottom.
Like so?
Yeah.
Is good?
Yeah. So we're gonna shove these in here with some more salt. Excuse my reach.
Sorry, what does the salt do?
Salt pulls out the bitter juices out of the seeds. And also a little bit of the moisture, because it can act like zucchini. You know when you cook with a zucchini and it gets really watery?
Oh.
This can get a bit watery.
Okay.
All right.
So we're sweetening and drying. Those are too small, maybe.
Well, they're on the little side, but
Okay.
it doesn't matter because it'll be towards the bottom of the dish. Everyone's going to be hungry. No one will care.
Just scoop it up.
Yeah. And I guess if you're in a really big super duper hurry, then making them smaller, this way you
Too small.
cook them in the oven and they'll cook faster.
Oh, okay, so that's good.
And that's another reason for kind of doing it in two dishes, is you can get it onto the plate.
And more
quickly.
salt?
Yeah, some more salt, quite a bit, because we're going to rinse it off.
Oh, okay.
All right, so give that a
Stir?
Yeah, give it a, say hello to the eggplant.
Hello, eggplant. Nice to meet you. Do not escape.
And then we just set that aside. Normally, I set it aside for as long as I can. There should be liquid draining at the bottom. Sometimes there's not.
Okay.
And then we're gonna rinse it and put it in the oven. So while that's resting, let's go ahead and make the basis for the sauce. So what we're dealing with here is we're gonna have what is essentially a tomato and ground beef sauce, so like a spaghetti sauce. And you can we're doing an Italian style eggplant parmesan. You could also do a Greek style based on the moussaka recipe, which also has eggplant in it. And then you just change up the spices a little bit. But so you got eggplant sauce, and then we're going to have like a dairy topping on top of it. And someone asked if there was any pasta in this because it has a kind of an Italian name, and the answer is no.
No.
Because this is a grain-free meal. Okay, now I don't know how you slice your onions, Char. I usually, whoa.
Try this. That knife is better. I know.
We gotta separate this from the.
I never cut mine that way.
Try it. It doesn't work. So, Char, you have learned something from doing some of these shows.
Yes, I have. I have been chopping many things. This is a very strong onion that you bought me.
Is it?
Yes.
Are you trying?
I'm trying.
Okay. So now we're going to do some garlic. I don't know if this garlic wants to come out either.
And why olive oil, Marianne?
Well, olive oil is considered one of the healthy fats. We're in our diet today, we're eating a lot of omega-6 fats, which are seed oils. Again, there comes that seed word. And those oils have now been demonstrated to put inflammation into the body. So the body kind of reacts to them. We're supposed to have fish oils, and this is a monounsaturated oil, which actually you shouldn't heat this too high.
Oh, okay.
So if you get it to the smoke point, it oxidizes, and then
it's not good for you.
No, it's not good for you.
Changes chemically.
Yeah. So. But it does, and it adds a lovely, lovely flavor. And this is a Mediterranean dish, so there we go. We'll just put this in. You could put other stuff in here like celery and peppers. I would.
Anything that you like to have in your tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Your spaghetti sauce without spaghetti.
You could put mushrooms in. Yeah, and then you could just vary the flavor depending on. You could do a Mexican version, for heaven's sake. I don't know if the Mexicans use eggplant, but there you go. So the other thing that I would use for frying is lard. So, pork lard.
So we're going back to the more old-fashioned whole foods rather than the fancy new canola oil. You use olive oil or lard.
Yeah. And the big debate in the health community now is that we went to eating low fat,
right,
high carb,
right,
and then voila, here we are 30, 40 years later, and everyone's fat.
And has diabetes
diabetes, heart disease, metabolic syndrome, all those kinds of things. So, if by going back to the way your grandma ate, you're doing yourself a favor. They're better reserved for a dish where you need to use a whole package.
I need a spoon. I have to taste that.
No, it's not cooked enough to taste it.
No. The
anchovy sauce. Oh, okay. And the nice thing about this, you just keep it in the fridge and you just use a squirt, right? I've never tasted it straight off the spoon.
Good.
That's fishy.
That's very, very salty, and it's got a little hint of sort of licorice.
It's
aniseed.
Yeah. It's and I swear to this is used in Caesar salad dressing, by the way, you can't taste it when you're done, but it just adds. It's like putting fish sauce in a Thai dish. It adds that little je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
So a layer of flavors. There's another little sort of something in there.
So this is sort of. There, that's fine. We won't overdo it right now.
And the tomato sauce coming in, that'll help mix the anchovy throughout, right? I
Yeah.
don't have to do it perfectly.
Yeah.
I actually like that. It's very, very salty. You can see
Yeah.
why you just use a little down.
Yeah. All right, so in goes the tomato sauce. This is sort of no-name brand, almost tomato sauce.
Not a lot of extra ingredients.
There's no extra ingredients in it except for some salt. I mean, you could, if you have a favorite jarred tomato sauce or spaghetti sauce, you could use that. I like this better because it doesn't have any weird kind of, it seems like there's weird fillers and stuff. There's probably wheat in spaghetti sauce nowadays.
Well, yeah, if it has a lot of flavorings,
Yeah.
the wheat might be in the flavorings already. So this is just tomato, water, salt, citric acid, onion powder, garlic, spice.
Yeah, and you can't really even smell that. So now we just got to leave that sit.
And what do you eat with your eggplant parmesan?
Eat with it?
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of a complete meal in itself, but it's nice to have something a little fresh.
Yeah.
So a salad.
Okay.
So we're going to make a really simple salad that's the lettuce is very kid-friendly. It's iceberg lettuce, and but the dressing we're going to put on it is blue cheese because we're grown-ups.
Oh, yes. All right. Okay, I love blue cheese. So moving back to the
Yeah,
counter.
so we just got to keep an eye on that doesn't burn.
Okay, is it for a good temperature? Need a lid?
I don't know if 4 is a good temperature. I have a gas
You
stove.
have a gas stove.
There's-
All right, fine.
Okay, we'll see.
All right.
All right. To roast a little bit. You could fry these if that's what your choice was, but you know what? Once I discovered this man in this recipe had done it this way, there was no turning back. I was never going to waste another, because when you stick some of these in a frying pan, you can only get so many in, and they suck up all the olive oil, and you end up using 3 or 4 times more olive oil.
And it's an extra step. It's another.
It's an extra thing to deal with, yeah. So just, you could squeeze them if you want, I guess, to get a little bit of the liquid out. Which is another reason for not using a paper towel. Just break.
Oh,
and
yeah,
paper
yeah,
in your
yeah.
Anyway, so now what we're going to do is, why don't we trade places? I'll just move these 2 things out of here. And how many have we got there? We've got quite a few, eh? So let's make 2. This is another kind of a step that makes things, simplifies a little bit if you're going to do it on a weeknight. If you do it in 2 little pans, they cook more quickly, and then in the case that there's going to be leftovers, chances are you're going to have a nice whole pan left or something.
Lovely.
For the next day. So I just eyeball this. I love olive oil, so I'm not afraid of oil or fat. I want to do enough that they don't stick to the bottom. And then we're just going to gently toss them.
Gently toss.
Yeah. Look how pretty they got with a little bit of olive oil on them.
Oh, yeah, shiny. And you gotta love the purple color. Oops. So, you wouldn't encourage people to use noodles with this? They should stick to eggplant? Is there...
Well, you can do, everybody's going to make their own choices about what they're going to eat, but you don't need...
you wouldn't
pasta
encourage
with
people to
this.
use noodles with this? They should stick to eggplant? Is there...
You can do, everybody's going to make their own choices about what I don't they're know where going it to
go.
eat.
Okay.
You don't need
And you were saying
pasta
something
with
about,
this.
this seems kind of bizarre, addictive quality of wheat? What's that about?
So when they accidentally discovered when they made this new red dwarf wheat, which is like only about yay high. The other wheat used to be, well, you know more about that than me because you're from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, tall, amber waves of grain.
Yeah.
While you're talking, is there some cooking we should be doing?
We should throw this in the oven now, and we should just leave it there for about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll check it and see how it's doing. Yeah. Should I do the zucchini first for the
Sure.
pasta, because we were just talking
Sure.
about pasta?
Yeah. So this is another alternative other than eggplant.
You could use for the bottom layer. You could use a mixture of zucchini and eggplant if you wanted. What I'm going to show you now, which is zucchini noodle, I wouldn't be putting in this dish because it would just overcook.
Okay.
But I probably will have leftover sauce, and I could use this to make a kind of spaghetti and sauce. So these, and I tend to like really small eggplant or zucchini when I'm just making other things, but for this, it's not a bad idea to have a big one. And then I just want to try and make a flat so it'll sit. And then what we're going to do, I don't know what this is called. It took me a whole day of shopping in Terrace to find it.
Okay, so it's got some teeth along it.
Yeah.
Sort of, I don't know, like what? Like a saw blade.
Yeah, I don't know. It's got a name. I don't know what that is. But I found out about it, and what it's going to do, if I can do it the right way. Now, have I forgotten?
I know.
So what it's going to do, it's going to peel long strips of zucchini. And that's what people in the grain-free community, many of them will eat instead of pasta.
Oh,
so
okay.
they're just getting another vegetable.
Right.
And you don't have to throw this in boiling water. You can just warm it in the pan with a little bit of olive oil, because they're going to be so finely sliced and they're so
They're tender.
Yeah. You could also use spaghetti squash, but I don't like spaghetti squash. And this is kind of more fun. Except you get really tired of it if you've got a crowd coming. And all this.
That's beautiful.
And I tend to kind of go around the thing, mainly because I really like the green. It's so pretty. Although the inside looks more like pasta.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny because it kind of almost tastes like pasta too.
Well, this is pretty like taste free, right? This also picks up whatever you cook it with.
That's right. Yeah. So you could also you could make a bowl of this for breakfast and throw a fried egg on it.
Ah.
That wouldn't be too shabby. What we've got here is a small container of gluten-free ricotta.
It doesn't say
Very
that.
good. It does too, right there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I sometimes buy the big ones, but we're using this much today.
And so is this sort of like cottage cheese? It looks a wee bit like cottage cheese.
It's more smoother, sweeter, right?
Mmm. That is super yummy.
I have made my own of this out of raw milk, and it was to die for. So in goes the ricotta cheese.
That's yummy.
And then we're going to throw a couple of eggs in. Are they all good?
Yeah, they're all good.
And if you can get me a spoon. I'm going to put 3 eggs in. This is going to be for the topping. You could, if you wanted, put a little tiny bit of nutmeg in this to give it a little.
Ooh.
But it's not critical. Pinch. Maybe a tiny
What
one.
kind of dressing are we making?
We're making blue cheese
Blue
dressing.
cheese dressing,
Yeah.
right, the adult thing.
Yeah, okay. So this is some Danish blue cheese. I wanted to buy Italian gorgonzola, but it's prohibitively expensive.
Oh,
And I'm from Denmark, so blue is good. Danish blue.
Danish blue.
Yeah. And this, you can buy one of these containers, you can put it back in the fridge, it'll keep for weeks. It's already moldy.
Right. No worries.
So just get yourself some blue cheese, and I just kind of eyeball this, and then if I feel like I need to, I'll taste it, and if it's not blue cheesy enough, then I'll just add some crumbles to the top of the dressing.
That's strong. That's sharp.
I know, but we're going to tame it now with some Greek yogurt. And you could do just mayonnaise, but it would make for a very kind of cloying.
Cloying.
Yeah. Or you could use sour cream. Mm-hmm. Buttermilk is lovely.
Butter.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I can picture that.
So then put in, you know, a good quantity of lovely full fat Greek yogurt, plain. Do not make the mistake of buying vanilla.
No, it's got sugar in it.
Yeah. And yeah, so there's a big movement to switching back to full fat dairy, because low fat dairy, you don't absorb any of the calcium in it anyway.
You need the fat to get the calcium.
Yeah, you do.
Wow.
So, and contrary to popular opinion by the low fat movement, fat is, when you eat fat as a fuel for your body, it just turns on your fat burning furnace. And that's one of the reasons when you remove the wheat and pasta and everything, and you up your fat, that you tend to lose weight. So no, we'll put this in. So this is Dijon mustard, but we'll do that last because that's just kind of a flavoring. You don't want it to be a mustardy salad. You just want it to have a little oomph. So this is Hellmann's mayonnaise, which all the foodies are trying to emulate at home. It's very hard to do. We should set it upside down, I guess.
So that's a couple tablespoons there.
Well, it's more than that.
3, 4.
Quarter cup maybe.
Quarter cup.
Do not try this with Miracle Whip, folks.
Won't work?
It'll work, but you'll get a funny
taste.
A funny taste.
So the mayonnaise is plainer.
Plain,
tasting.
yeah.
Eggs and oil, basically.
Quality mayonnaise, yeah.
Canola and olive oil, egg, vinegar, sugar, but it's way down at the end.
Yeah. And the trouble with making your own mayonnaise is, number one, you have to use raw eggs, so you have to know your egg source really, really well.
Oh, yes, right.
And the second factor is it doesn't keep. You have to kind of eat it.
Oh.
Make it and eat it.
Make it and eat it.
And there's a limit to how much mayonnaise you can eat in one sitting. So there's the basic little pretty. And then we'll put a little bit of, see how this guy's doing. A little bit of this. There. Just a bit.
Almost like anchovy paste, just a little flavor.
What did I do with the little, I had a half a lemon here or something. Where did we put the lemon? Oh, it's over there.
I will get it.
Because we're going to do two things with the lemon. We forgot to do one thing with the lemon. Can I have the peeler? Yeah. Into my sauce, this is my secret little ingredient, I try to put a little piece of lemon peel.
In the tomato sauce?
In the tomato sauce. And just cook it alongside. So here's a little piece, if you want to put that in. Okay. And then we're just going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice in here to sharpen it up. Maybe some pepper if we have it, which I know we do. And if you were my husband, you would be putting Tabasco sauce in this.
Oh, okay. Really zingy.
There. There you have it. The thing you could do if you were going to have like a dinner party and you want to impress your guests, then you take and you cut this up into little wedges, and you put the wedge on a plate, right? A couple of arugula leaves around it.
And oh yeah, it looks very
Make it all
pretty. And then
fancy
you go
schmancy,
dip.
Yeah, don't make it too small though.
Ha ha.
So,
Lovely. Ta-da.
yeah. So these are absolutely chock full of healthy fats. And you just kind of distribute that in your salad. Nice kind of spring colors for a wintry day. And this is arugula, which is an Italian leafy vegetable, I guess. Also known, they call it rocket in England.
Oh, rocket. Yeah, okay.
And
Looks
it's
a little spinachy.
Yeah,
Does it
but
taste
it's
spinachy?
no, it tastes quite different. It's very kind of peppery. So it's a nice contrast to what's going on in here with the bland kind of flavors.
That's right, bland.
Yeah, just to give it a little zip, and it gives it a little color. You can put as
That's
much.
zippy. Yeah, I wouldn't want 100%
No,
arugula rocket.
rocket. Myself. So now what we're going to do is we are going to spoon some sauce on top here. Now there are two ways you could do this. If you wanted to put it in a fancy container, because this is the dinner party with the iceberg wedges, then you would take your fancy oven-proof ceramic pot and you would put a layer of the sauce on the bottom, just a thin layer. But you don't have to do that. So instead, we're just going to put it on top.
Keeping the dishes down.
Keeping the dish, yep, so we don't have too much to throw into the dishwasher or have people who don't have dishwashers like me wash up. So
you're just basically covering the eggplant with a
yeah,
nice
and I'm going to
thick
move
layer.
the sauce out of the way here so we can have a better look at what we're doing. Yeah, you're just putting a layer of sauce on. Maybe a little more. Alrighty. Next we have our layer of
Ricotta and then eggs.
and
Shall I?
yeah,
Am I putting this all on?
yeah, you're just gonna put it on as evenly as possible, or it'll spread out. We will have to sort of
Smoosh it a bit. Oh, every last delicious drop.
yeah. And then we're going to put some Parmesan on top.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay.
So we'll try for 20 minutes first.
All right.
And then see how it is. Because you'll burn your tongue if you try to.
Okay. All right. Let's get the table set up with dinner.
Okay. Turn this just in some olive oil. But the hot sauce on it will soften it more.
Okay.
And it's also pretty healthy to eat raw. Some of your veggies, I believe,
I'm just warming that sauce a bit.
Okay.
Look at that beautiful purple bottom and puffy golden top. And you want about 50-50 lettuce to dressing, or I do.
I know you do.
That'd be my plate. And the alternative of the zucchini noodles with the sauce.
And then a little bit of Parmesan on top.
Beautiful.
Sometimes we've been known to do that as well.
Yeah. And thank you, Marianne, very much. Yeah, it looks like you're very deprived being wheat-free.
Yes,
This way of eating.
terrible way to live, yeah.
Watch for us next time, Char Can't Cook, only on City West Community Channel 10.